Hello, welcome to Art Success with me, Adelaide Damoah. I would like to introduce my first ever guest, Rebecca Fontaine-Wolf. I first came across Rebecca's work in 2009 because we both took part in a group show at the Opera Gallery in Budapest called British Art in the 21st Century. There were several other artists involved in the exhibition, but for me, the work that stood out the most was Rebecca's work, and I've been following her work and her progress ever since, right up until her most recent success, which was the inclusion in a reality TV show about art called Show Me the Monet. Now, Rebecca's work entitled June, which was a self-portrait, got all the way through to the end, which meant inclusion in a big group show in central London at the Royal College of Art. Rebecca, how long have you been a professional artist?
I've been selling work since my degree show, which was in 2004.
Okay.
But I worked in a gallery for a year, and then after that I kind of really started doing it professionally and full-time as well.
Excellent. So you're completely full-time, you're not doing anything else to back up your income?
Not at the moment, no.
What are your secrets to success?
Well, if you want to call it that, I'd say I just threw myself in the deep end, I think, because I worked at this gallery for a year, and I was just basically working on a till, and it made me really, really miserable. I had my studio, but I didn't really have the time or energy after work to go to the studio, and somebody told me about doing promotional work, which is sort of like, giving out leaflets and samples and doing bits and bobs, and you can just do that as and when you please, and just, when you need it, and it pays quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it, I'm just going to do it, I'm going to stop working and just do these odd jobs here and there, so that I can just fully concentrate on my work and do it. And I think that was it, just sort of saying, yes, I'm committing to it, I want this, so I'm just gonna do it, give it a go.
Was there anything else in addition to that? I mean, I know it's one thing making the decision that you're going to go ahead and make a commitment to doing art full time, but were there any other specific things that you did that you feel kind of catapulted you to a certain point where you started to actually sell work and attract dealers, etc.?
Just getting myself out there, really. Yeah. I think just doing art fairs, just being online, seeing what opportunities are out there, exhibiting stuff in pubs, and just sort of bit by bit sort of starting to show work and get it out there. I think that's all it was, really. And then from each thing something else comes. Somebody else has seen your work, or other little bits and bobs to sort of come together. So I think that would be really, really just it, just trying to get your work out there. And it's a bit difficult because there's no sort of set path as an artist or as a painter. Sort of, this is how you move up the ladder and move up the scale. So I think everybody has to figure it out for themselves, and that's what the hard thing is. My mother's an artist, which sort of helps as well, but she works a lot more on commission. She's a portrait painter primarily, and so although she is an artist, her path is quite different than my path. So although I could get support and some advice from her, I still had to figure it out for myself.
That's interesting because, I mean, there are so many artists that, well, not many artists have the advantage of having a mother as an artist as well, but there are so many artists who are doing exactly the things that you have described, and they're failing miserably. So what do you think it is about you that sets you apart from the other artists that are failing? I mean, I know artists that have been doing this for years and years and years, and they haven't got as far as you've got.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I don't really see it that way myself. I suppose you're more critical of yourself. But I keep thinking, God, I could be that much further right now, and it's interesting to hear that. I really don't know. I think maybe a certain amount of luck always plays its part, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In whatever you do. So I'd say that would be it, really.
Well, they do say that luck is where preparation meets opportunity, and you seem to be constantly prepared, so maybe that has something to do with it.
I try to be.
Maybe. Okay. So what would you say your main objectives are for sort of the next 12 months going forward? What are your goals?
Some of the artists from the Show Me the Monet exhibition have decided to put on another exhibit with our work because it wasn't open to the public.
Yeah.
So we're doing that from the middle of August. But other than that, I think it would be just working on my actual paintings and where that's going. I've got a couple of ideas of the direction I kind of want it to go into, but I think I need to really crystallize that and work on it, because I still feel that my work could be that much better and could be that much, more powerful, and really that's where I want it to be. I want to be sort of feeling completely happy with my work, which I don't know if that's ever really possible, to be sort of 100% happy and think, yes, this is it. Yeah. But that's I'm aiming for anyway.
Yeah, as artists, we're always struggling with that. I can testify to that. But, I mean, you mentioned Show Me the Monet again. Tell me a bit more about how that actually came about.
Well, it was a competition to get your work seen by some art critics. A competition to get onto the BBC, a reality show where you get to present your work to the art critics, who would then decide whether you went on to show in the final exhibition, which was going to be at the Henry Moore Gallery at the RCA, and was going to be attended by industry professionals and sort of other critics and gallery owners and things like that. I was quite reluctant to take part in it or to even apply for it because of the fact that it is a reality TV thing, and I wanted it to be more about my work and not about me. And I know that it's also, I know the format of reality TV, and I know it can be quite cruel. Yeah. So it's a massive risk. If they don't like what you do, you could be humiliated in front of millions of people, essentially. So, but my mum kind of said, why don't you do it? And my boyfriend did as well. And in the end, I thought, I might as well try. I probably won't get in anyway. And but then I did. And yeah. And then I sort of decided, I might as well go for it, and it worked out really well. So it was definitely one of the hardest things I've had to do, but it was really good. Yeah,
definitely worthwhile because your prices went up double after that.
Yeah.
So any artists out there who get the opportunity to go on reality TV, would you advise it? Take the risk?
I'd say yeah. I think the thing is, you've always got to be, if you really believe in what you do, you've got to be willing to take that risk, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think yes would be the answer.
Yes. Good. So do I. So you mentioned that you've got your the show with the Show Me the Monet people. Are there any other shows where people can come and see your work?
I haven't actually got anything lined up at the moment, but things will come in. I'm doing the Untitled Art Fair next year in June, so that's quite far in the future. But yeah, I'll be there with my mum as well. She's going to be exhibiting, so we'll be doing that together, which will be quite nice.
Very sweet. Okay. And so what about long-term goals? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't know if I dare to say where I see myself. I can say where I'd hope to see myself. And really it's kind of about having a permanent gallery space and being represented by one gallery exclusively.
Yeah.
And yeah, just having solo shows with them and group shows with them, and not just in terms of status, but also sometimes it gets really complicated sort of when you've got work in different places and you're working with different people, and it kind of, you know, you have to be very careful not to piss anyone off or not to sort of overlap or anything like that, and it does get quite complicated. It would also just be nice to have somebody else who deals with all the business side of things, and to be in a place where I can just focus purely on painting, purely on my work, and have somebody else do all the other stuff. That's ideally where I'd want to be in 5 years' time.
And your ultimate dream for success?
Ultimate dream would be, I think, what every artist wants, which is to be able to create something lasting, something that has a lasting impact on people, that will be remembered for years to come, past your lifetime, and will sort of play a big part in art history. I think that's the ultimate goal that I think most of us have really deep down.
Yeah. Okay. So where can people see your work online?
You can see it on my website, which is www.rebeccafontaine-wolf.com.
Okay.
I've also got a Facebook page, which is the same name, just Rebecca Fontaine-Wolf Art, and on a few different sort of art websites, but if you type my name in, you'll find me on Google.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us on Art Success, and hope to see you at your next show.